Can you chat?
Always.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I was thinking maybe do you think we should do a little intro just like about ourselves because this is probably going to be the first episode we release.
Yes, I definitely do.
Great. Wow, where to begin? Well, I'm Rachel.
I'm Jonna.
And we are just two close pals, some might say soulmates.
Soulmates, definitely.
BFFs, sisters with style.
Sisters with style is something I would say, yeah.
Confidants.
Yes, good word.
Partners in crime.
Emphasis on the crime.
We both are married, but we're married to men who had to understand and be okay with the fact that we had already found our soulmates in each other.
Many years before.
They're just part of the crew. One is who we love to call our reluctant producer.
He's here with us today.
Yeah, so we're just like the next level of friendship.
We've taken our friendship to another level. We're more like family.
Yes, definitely more like family. We live down the street from each other. You're a newlywed.
Yeah.
I'm a semi-newly mom.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like a newly mom still.
Yeah, he'll be two.
You're just learning every day.
Yeah.
He's like, my son's like, you're not new to this.
He's like, wait, you're new.
So yeah, we bring just like all of our problems and questions and concerns to one another 500 times a day via phone. And we thought it might be interesting to record some of those calls and share them here with the world. So
You're about to listen to our first episode. We hope that you like it. Let us know.
we talk about
Pop culture, politics. I'm not going to say fashion because it's mostly just us making fun of people's fashion.
current events,
Everything.
and a lot about our lives and how those issues and topics relate to girls in their 30s.
We hope you like it.
This is Call You Later.
Put it-
I was going to begin. Should we begin? Because
yeah,
we didn't
let us
actually.
begin. Yeah.
What was I yelling that one time when we were on a party bus in college and he would not leave downtown?
The time is nigh. Which I'm not even sure if that's correct Old English. The time is nigh.
Is it, producer?
Our producer says it is.
Oh.
He's actually an expert in medieval lingo.
We were trying to get home. We had a pizza delivery coming. And like, as you know, if you're not there to get it, then they just roll on without
Well,
you.
actually, now it's not with Uber Eats. You could leave a note that says we lived in a time before that.
Yeah, ours you had to be at the door.
You could leave a note on your app. It says leave at door. We didn't have that technology back in
No.
the dark ages.
We had to go get him at the gate, and our pizza delivery was on its way because we thought we'd be home in 10 minutes.
We actually had impeccable timing usually with our drunk food.
And this party bus driver was like trying to pack the bus. I mean, you could not even stand. Buses were leaving
Not up to
left
code.
and right.
Not up to code.
And so I just started screaming at the driver, "The time is nigh." And I don't think that had really any impact on
We
his
still waited.
decision. But the time is nigh for us to
Yeah.
begin.
The time is nigh.
I wanted to try a vocal exercise with you that I was
vocal
doing.
exercise?
It's not singing. Don't worry.
Okay, I was like,
I wouldn't subject our listeners to that.
Okay. My voice is beautiful and I've recently found my key. Or my pitch. What did I find? Both. I found both.
Okay. So I was doing it to my husband the other night when we were going to bed. He was like, "This isn't fair because we're going to bed. Like, my mouth is tired." I was like, "Your mouth can't be tired."
Okay.
Can you say red leather, yellow leather 3 times fast?
Whew, that's a doozy. Let me try. Okay. Red leather, yellow leather.
Can't even do one.
No, I can. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
That's not fast.
That was pretty fast.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. That's what you sounded like.
Okay, well, what does that do for us?
It's to warm up your tongue.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
You
Okay.
almost had it at the end there.
I
How
can't
about
do it.
Unique New York?
That one I can do because I've said it like jokingly. Unique New York, unique New York, unique New York. Ba, ba, ba.
He couldn't even do one. Like, he was literally like, red leather.
Were you worried he had a stroke?
I was like, what's going on? And he was like, it's hard to say things. I was like, okay.
Okay. Interesting. Well, thanks for doing that.
So we can do that to warm up here.
I feel warmed up.
Today was our son's first day of daycare.
It was. And you're here. You did it.
We dropped him off. And it wasn't really difficult at all.
Yeah, you said it sounded like he was excited to see. He loves kids, though.
He really does.
Like, you would have never been able to get out of there if you were the first kid there.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no.
the kids, imagine the poor first kid at daycare every day.
Hopefully the first kid is like, they go there every day. So they're
Yeah.
like,
But just like the fact that they were kids probably just sucked him right in.
yeah. When we first got there, he didn't want to go inside the building because he was like, what is this place? We've never been before.
Yeah.
And, you know, the director greeted us at the door. He was like, who are you? I don't care about
Whatever
this lady. And then when we got into the actual classroom, his room with his teacher, and there were kids in there playing already, he was like,
So is this just like free play? Like, does he just play all day?
there's a schedule for the day.
But I mean, like, there's no curriculum. Like, it's like,
No, there is.
there's curriculum?
I mean, like, there's not curriculum, but like they're working on different things.
Right. But I mean, it's free play.
Holding a pencil or a crayon correctly in your hand. Like,
Got it.
things like that.
Basic life skills.
Even the teacher was like, they were playing with like these like little cars in this sandbox, the sensory table they call it.
Isn't it nice you can have all those toys now that make a mess? He can have them there.
Yeah. Mess it up.
Enjoy your sand.
Yes. So she was saying, because he was like holding a car and then another kid took the car out of his hand to like play with. And he tried to like reach back for it. And I was like, that's okay. We're going to share. And she was like, we try to work on sharing, but until they turn 2,
Not
they
much
really,
understanding.
yeah, like she's like, instead we try and like say like, as a group, we're playing with this, you know, like rather than like, because they're like, what's mine is mine.
Get away.
Yes.
I'm shocked every time we take him somewhere at the kids who, like, when he will rip something out of their hands, they're older children, he'll rip something out of their hands and they look annoyed. It's like, you can tell he's a baby, right? Like,
Totally.
You're only 7, but you have eyes.
Are you more surprised by that or the children that he approaches at the park who ignore him
I'm
and
more
want literally nothing to do with him?
I'm more surprised with the kids who are, like, thrown by his
Being a baby.
babiness. Because, like, it's one thing to not want to play with a baby or, like, interact with a baby. Like, I, at that age, was like, babies. But, like, if you don't want to, that's fine. But, like, yesterday, he ran up to these kids who had come up in their bikes, and one had, like, a bow in her little basket. And he was excited to, like, see these kids. He runs over. He goes to, like, grab the bow from her basket. And she was, like, making a face at him.
And she was like 7.
And she was like 7. And so I took it out of his hands and I go, this is hers. I go, sorry. She didn't even acknowledge me. I was like, he's clearly a very cute little baby.
Can you not see that he's a very cute little baby?
Like, I was like, are you okay? We discovered that her name was Grace and that she was in a massive fight with her friend, which I eavesdropped on the rest of the park experience. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if it's because he's an only child right now, so like he's so excited when he has kids to play with, but like there'll be kids at the park and he'll just like run over and try and join their fun. Like they'll be playing tag and he'll think he's playing tag too, like running extremely slowly behind them, or like they're playing on like the spinny thing and he's like, you know, just watching them laughing and they're not even like engaging. Like they're not even looking at him. They're not like, do you want to come play? Like at multiple different parks.
It's happened.
It spans across towns, parks,
communities,
children's races. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a kid welcome him into play.
Never. Except those
the
kids.
one time
Yes.
we met this like 7th grader who was obsessed with him and basically took on the role of nanny.
Yeah.
We were like, should we go home?
It was
He's
precious.
fine. Yeah, that was weird. Interesting.
So,
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm glad it wasn't traumatic for you.
it wasn't traumatic. We both went and we said, we were standing in the classroom like watching him play. And he kept like looking back and smiling at us, or like holding up whatever the toy was to be like, look at this cool toy. And we were like, cool, cool. And the teacher was like, you guys are welcome to stay as long as you want. Like, we have, you know, especially it's the first day, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, like, after we'd been there for like 5 minutes watching him play, it was like, what else would we do here? You know?
And the longer you stay, probably the harder it's going to be for him.
Yeah, like the longer we sit here, then he's like, oh, you guys are here and these kids are here. What fun.
Yeah.
Rather than it's like, no, you're here and we're not here.
Did you cry when you left?
Did I cry? No.
Did Mike?
No. I didn't even feel like crying, really.
Really? I cried at American Idol last night.
Which part? Oh, the kid. His song about...
No, Odell Button Jr.
Oh.
When his kids came on and he was like, I'm doing this for you guys. Tears.
Oh, sure.
Couldn't get it together.
Yeah, last night's episode was good.
Yeah, I have to finish the other half.
So yeah, that was the big update. I think the drop-off went probably as well as, and the director was like, it's a good time to start because like they're going to be playing outside a lot. Like, it's not like it's like a freezing rainy day where like,
yeah,
you know.
Well, I'm glad. I can't wait for him to tell us all about it. He's a social kid though. I was social this weekend.
Yeah.
I went to my little sister-in-law's mom's weekend.
Ooh.
And going into it, I was like, I'm young. I'm 32. Like, I'm going to be one of the girls. She's
Absolutely.
in a sorority. Like, she's a freshman. She has this great group of friends. I got to tell you, I was more of a mom.
Yeah.
I texted you. I was like, how did we used to drink? Like
this.
Just like constant drinking.
Totally.
And they just keep on keeping on. I was exhausted.
I think when you're in that like environment,
you
don't even realize.
Totally.
And you also have like, I mean, you have school obviously, but you have no other, like most people have no other real like life obligations. Like, it's like you go to class, then you come home and you take a 4-hour nap and then you start drinking. Like,
I was shocked. We went to one of the like college bars, and first of all, they were making a killing on it being mom's weekend. This is a bar that they told us usually has like $10 cover.
Were you like, this campus just does not even compare to ours?
I mean, nothing compares to ours.
Obviously.
We went to a beautiful place. But we went to a bar, and I guess like the cover, there's usually like $10. At certain points, it was $40 during the weekend. When we went, it was $20. So we paid $60 just to get into this bar. Insane. And then we went upstairs and we bought drinks, and the drinks were actually really well priced, but they were so thrown by like the moms and like me and the moms ordering like legitimate brands. Like, I think people are just like vodka soda, and like me and this mom were like Tito's and soda, and they were like, oh, like they didn't even know how to ring that up.
They were like, Tito's, where is the Tito's?
Literally. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. We did some shopping. It was like a fun weekend, but I was like, I could not
go back to college at this point.
No, and I loved going out. Like, you know, I loved to go out.
We hit the town,
but I was so fucking tired. And I'm sorry, we left at 7. It was a day drinking situation. And we didn't even drink that much. But it was just the like walking. You walk everywhere on a campus. You are constantly in communication with other people. She's like, oh, my friends are going here. Oh, wait, they moved. Oh, they're somewhere else. Oh, we got to go wait in line. I was like, no.
And we would walk places in heels.
I said to her, I go, let me tell you.
Kids don't go out in that anymore.
They go out in like Dunks or like cute sneakers.
Yeah.
And jeans.
Nice for them.
Jeans and like casual tees. I go, let me tell you about a time, 2010, where we exclusively went out in business casual.
Yes.
We wore pencil skirts and stilettos, a no coat. Didn't matter what the weather was.
No coat at all.
I felt like a grandparent. I was like, we used to walk to the bars uphill in stilettos. She was like business casual. I was like, no, seriously, pencil skirts and like.
Okay, it was more like bandage skirts.
It was like slutty business casual.
Yeah, slutty business casual.
It was like a
SBC.
It was like what secretaries wear when they want to seduce their boss. Was really the vibe.
Like really inappropriate secretaries.
Yes, really inappropriate. Yeah.
So just channel what that might be.
Yeah. And then I was telling her how we used to put concealer on our lips. Did you ever
No, we didn't. That was only you.
People did.
No.
I need people to validate this. They did.
I never did that.
And like Bronzer City, where like now the kids are all like makeup gurus. Like they're doing contouring. They wear a nice cream blush. They can tell you the differences between a cream and a powder blush.
I know. They're all like
All
makeup.
of her friends were like, makeup was great. Outfits were great. I was like, you guys, the dark ages were tough.
But it wasn't like back then. That's what was in.
Oh yeah, we were on trend. But like now they're on trend. I was explaining that like back then, college trends did not mirror the world. Like if you were trendy and well dressed in college, it wasn't something you would wear like in the real world. Now, middle schoolers even are just wearing things like that I would wear.
Like what's trendy for them is trendy in general.
They're like to know it from Revolve. It's like you're 12.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know what's something that is like I have to retrain myself to not do that is a takeaway from being in a sorority.
What?
Not like
Using a shower caddy? I'm just kidding.
yeah, in my house.
Shower shoes.
Yes. I actually have a shower caddy. When I walk from my walk-in closet to my bathroom, I have a caddy with my body wash. And then afterward, I just carry it back, dripping through the bathroom and my bedroom.
That's a word I haven't said in so long. Shower caddy. Oh, God.
I didn't wear shower shoes at the house in our sorority.
I don't think I did either, but I did in the dorms.
Yeah, in the dorms.
But I always had a shower caddy.
I was going to say, it's not like what I'm about to say. It doesn't happen to me when I'm like, you know, in public, like in like watching a musical or something. But at home,
a specific example of something to be doing.
I'm just saying, when
like
you
in
hear,
the theater or on TV?
when you hear it, you'll know.
Okay, go ahead.
Like last night, we were watching American Idol, and like a really good performance happened, and afterward, my husband started clapping, and I started snapping.
Oh, yes, Sister President. Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, it's just like a quiet way of,
It's a nice way to give someone some praise.
yeah, like it's just like a quiet way of clapping rather than like, you know, big manly ass claps in your
I often think
face.
clapping is pretty manly. So I'm glad you said it.
Do you feel like clapping is manly? Or
I
just
have-
like banging your hands
Banging
together?
your hands together like two cymbals. It's funny because my mother-in-law was not in a sorority and she thinks the whole thing is just like
So
whoop,
stupid.
So stupid.
I think if you're not in it, if I wasn't in it,
You would for sure think it was stupid.
I would think it was so stupid. Many people are actually surprised to hear that I was in a sorority,
It's true.
and I ended up in one by accident.
As all good stories start.
At the school that we went to, you knew you wanted to be in it, correct?
No, I did not go through recruitment. I was not going through recruitment.
You didn't go through recruitment?
No, I didn't go to college to go through recruitment. Like I
Oh,
didn't-
that's not what you just said. I was like, you just ended up in it? No, I didn't go through recruitment.
It liked
I
me
heard
so
you guys were having a bid night, and I was like, that looks kind of fun. And I wandered over to your house.
No, I wasn't going through recruitment. But a girl on my floor, who I still know to this day, her mom was in a sorority and her mom had come down. I think so. Our recruitment was like 2 weeks into school starting.
Yeah,
Back
like
in-
Labor Day weekend.
It's not like that anymore. But her mom had come down on the floor and she was like very fun and funny and boisterous and over the top. And so all the girls were in this girl's room and she was like, who's going through recruitment? And like a couple girls said something and she was like, the rest of you are not going through recruitment. And she made it seem like the biggest oversight of our life. She was like, oh no, girls, you have got to go through recruitment. And so we were all like, okay, we'll go through recruitment. Signed up on a whim. Didn't even tell my mom until after. And she was like, that sounds fun, honey, whatever you want. But I was like anti going
You
through.
were just like joining the crowd.
Yeah, because Nicole's mom was like, you have to.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever you say, Nicole's mom.
Okay, Nicole's mom.
Just met you, but you seem like you know a lot.
I went in, like, I knew a few people from high school, and I was like, I'm obviously going to meet new people, like people in my dorm, people in my major. And I was like, I don't need to join a sorority. It just seems like dumb to be like, you know, clapping and singing all the time.
You didn't know about the snapping.
I didn't know about snapping.
That would have changed.
And
your
I do
mind.
love singing, so. Flash forward, I'm recruitment chair.
No, literally. I'm gonna run this.
But anywho's, my freshman year, I was like, I know people enough, whatever. It's 2 weeks into the school year. I thought I was going to meet people in my major, and no offense to anyone who was an English major, but
It wasn't your people.
They weren't my people, that's for sure.
They were people for people.
They were people for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe I'm not going to meet anyone in this major of mine. And then there were a lot of people in my dorm, obviously. I had a roommate who I really liked, but she knew a lot of people. And like, I don't know. They were like doing things that I wasn't really trying to do. Like I was trying to go to like, you know, parties and really live it up. And they were playing apples to apples on the floor of our dorm.
It didn't sit well with you.
So I was like, how am I going to meet anybody if every night I'm playing apples to apples with the same group of 5 people, 4 of which I don't like?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the recruitment deadline to sign up as a freshman was the Wednesday before, I think it was.
Sure.
And Wednesday on our campus was a big night to go out, in case anyone was wondering.
We had like a specific bar that everyone went to.
But even as underclassmen, when you couldn't go to the bar, Wednesday's like the start of the weekend, which tells you
a lot about where we went.
tells you a lot about our college.
The only days that really weren't part of the weekend were Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It was more that was the weekend.
Yeah, you're right. It was, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It was really the down nights.
Yeah.
But then they had that Monday night special that they started.
And Tuesdays we actually went to the school
Yes.
that I went to this weekend.
Yep.
So it was really just pick your nights.
Yeah. It was Sunday's a quiet day. It's the Lord's Day.
We would go to a farmer's market.
Yep. So Wednesday night, recruitment started on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday night, my roommate was like, yeah, let's go out. Let's go out. I'm like, woohoo, we're going to go out. We're leaving.
Slipped your sexiest pencil skirt on.
I slipped my sexy work casual, business casual.
You transitioned from internship interview to party in 5 seconds.
No, literally. I'm like, and we just rip off this blouse, unbutton a few buttons, change my flats to a heel, and we're out of here. So I'm like, ooh, yay, we're going out. We're going out. I'm waiting for my roommate to come back from dinner, and she's like, not coming back. And I'm like, okay, well, I might as well start pre-gaming here by myself. So I start taking a few shots. I'm listening to music by myself.
So depressing.
I'm like, my roommate should be coming back soon. And my friends who were meeting us at this frat also lived in our dorm, but they were like, are you coming or not? And I was like, I told my stupid roommate I would go with her. Like, we were going to a party with my friends from home.
Okay.
And I was like, I told her I'd go with her. I don't want to leave her because, like, she'll have to come by herself. Go without me and we'll meet you there. And we had to walk to, like, you know, the other side of campus because we lived in a luxurious,
Beautiful place. Yeah.
beautiful place that was a bit far away. And she's not coming back. I'm texting her. I'm like, hello, like, where are you? Finally, it's like 10:30 again on a Wednesday. My friends are like, we're here, but the party kind of sucks. I've taken, 6 shots by myself. And my roommate finally comes back. She has like her like flannel blanket wrapped around her shoulders. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I left my phone in so-and-so's room and they went to bed. And we just got caught up playing some other stupid game like Cards Against Humanity or something. I was like, Jesus Christ with the fucking games. I was like, are you gonna go out? And she was like, oh, I don't think so. Like, she was literally like had fallen asleep on someone's futon. I was like, fucking ass. And so I text my friends. I was like, I'm just gonna come meet you. And they're like, we're leaving anyway. This party's dumb. And I was like, oh.
You missed the window.
I missed the window to even go to this party. I'm wearing my extremely uncomfortable skirt on my top bunk. And I was like, I can't be stuck with these people.
Gotta get out of here.
I can't be tied to this post. And so I went on and I drunkenly signed up for recruitment that was starting. The deadline was literally like 11:59 and it's like 11. I drunkenly signed up and I spelled my last name wrong.
So I didn't know that. So is your bid card for the wrong last name?
Yes, it was.
Shoot.
And I tried to make a point because like my name tag said my last name started with a P and I accidentally had put a B.
Those aren't even by each other on the keyboard, are they? No.
I was drunk in my dorm.
Okay.
It's not in the right headspace.
course.
I accidentally put a B, and we were grouped alphabetically.
So you were first in the door.
Yeah, I was there at the front of the line.
Bells on.
Yes, and I made a point at pref, actually, because I prefed at 3 houses. I was like, my name is actually spelled wrong
Everywhere,
because I was like, what if they're like trying to like verify my grades or something and they can't even find me? Like,
they're like, this girl slinked her way in here. She doesn't even go here.
Go here. So yeah, I spelled my last name wrong because I signed up drunkenly, and I reluctantly went through recruitment, and I ended up joining a lovely home,
which you loved, and I have so many more things to say, so I don't want to belabor, but you loved it so much, but did not come to one thing freshman year
because we didn't live there yet.
That wasn't the point. You were supposed to come.
I was sort of under the impression that like you meet a bunch of these girls, you're like, oh, this is so great. There's like,
see you when we move in.
Yeah, see you when we live in the house.
No one was under that impression. And I remember you were like a phantom. Like people were like, when is she coming? Like, when is Rachel coming to things? And I was like, who the heck knows? And then I wasn't even sure if you were moving into the house.
This is a good story for those of you who are unsure of how we met.
Yeah. So everyone's like, is Rachel coming? Is Rachel coming? Our whole freshman year, I was Sally's sorority. Like I was at everything. I was collecting points left and right. I loved it. And everyone kept being like, this girl, Rachel, like she doesn't come to anything. Like you did come to chapter because it was mandatory, but you weren't like at things. So then people are like, is she moving into the house? And I was like, I would
just
assume
about to say we had to go to chapter.
You went to chapter, but you didn't come to anything else. And so we're moving into the house, and I see you and your parents, who are now essentially parents to me, but at the time just strangers carrying in a TV.
I'm showing up to the house like, oh, this will be fun. Like,
and I'm like, where have you been, Beach? So I literally down the hallway, I'm like, hi, how are you? I'm Jonna.
This is like the school mascot apparently who like assaults you when you walk in the door. I wanted you to feel welcome
because everyone was like, pss, pss, pss,
I'm like trying to figure out where I'm gonna put my TV, and then this curly-headed motherfucker pops in the doorway, and she's like, hi, and I was like, oh my god.
What is that?
And of course my parents were like, she seems sweet. I was like, she seems annoying.
But by annoying you meant the love of my life.
Absolutely.
She seems like the love of my, but I was like, oh my god. But then what was funny is I had all these friends freshman year of college. We instantly became friends. We literally started hanging out 24/7, and my friends were always like, so do you want to come to, and I was like, no. And they were like, Rachel wasn't even in our sorority last year. And I'm like, well, she was, she just didn't come to stuff. So anyways,
so yeah, we met that first day. We all had dinner in the house. I was like, these gals seem like they can hang.
And you loved being in a sorority. Loved.
And you and I sat in the basement chit-chatting away.
All night.
At first, you felt a bit threatened by me.
I did.
And how funny I am.
Because then people were whispering the whole freshman year. People were always like, the two things that were synonymous were Jonna and funny.
That was your whole thing.
That was my vibe.
The whole shtick.
People were like, Jonna's really funny. And then people were getting whispers in the house, Rachel might be funnier than Jonna. And I was like, this will not do.
It was they were like, this gal didn't even exist last year, and here she comes in.
I befriended you under the policy of keep your friends close but your enemies closer.
Exactly. You were like, I've got to figure out where this girl's getting her jokes.
What's the special sauce?
And yeah, after that we were just thick as thieves.
That was a nice walk down memory lane. I'm glad we did that.
Me too. But yes, for anyone who out there who's thinking about being in a sorority, or who's thinking sororities are really dumb,
they're not.
You truly don't get it. And that's okay.
And I respect that. It's a weird thing, but I really do think from like outside of the fun and the drinking in life, as good or bad as it is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I just feel like sororities are like a really good networking tool, and they teach you really good skills. Like you become so good at small talk. You become so good at social situations. You become so good at like running sort of your realm in the sorority. You get positions, which sounds stupid, but you're like learning leadership skills. On a base level, they're fun. They're great parties, cool. You all live together.
They're skills that you would perhaps acquire earlier on in a job, yes, where it would be more of a learning curve for you, but we were able to acquire them in college in a safe, comfortable environment.
Like when you think about it, recruitment is essentially like a bajillion mini interviews.
Going through recruitment.
Sure. That reminds me, I told you about that video. Yes. There was a girl who is in 7th or 8th grade. I don't remember.
She looks like she's 28.
No, she looks 28. She has incredible makeup, incredible jewelry. I even said, I was like, I want to borrow her hoops.
Yeah.
Who on her private Snapchat made a video blasting everyone she hated in her grade. Like mean fucking insults. Not like mean girls where it's like, she's a fugly slut. Like horrible things. It got out and she ended up getting arrested because in addition to having a cyberbullying charge, they found video or photos on her computer that she had been collecting of nudes, which has a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Nudes that girls in her class, her 8th grade class, were sending.
Two guys.
Two
so,
guys.
Like, she has a lot of like guy friends.
Yes.
And these friends of hers, when they would get nudes, would send them to her and they would like joke about them.
And
which
she had
is
like an
tough.
arsenal. So many questions. Why are there 8th graders sending nudes?
I know. What were you doing in 8th grade?
Not sending nudes. What was I personally doing in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a great question. Listening to my iPod.
Like, were you like a MySpace kid?
Yes. Loved MySpace.
Yeah.
Watching a lot of MTV.
MTV. Okay.
Next.
But
Room
not even-
Raiders.
did you know people sent nudes or were you just totally oblivious to that?
I don't even know if they could send nudes with the sort of, I mean, I'm sure they did, but do you remember our pictures on like our flip phones?
They weren't good.
They weren't great quality.
It would be a low quality nude if that.
I mean, maybe they were doing it on their digital cameras, uploading them,
Whew.
putting a picnic filter on
Uploading them to the family desktop computer in the living room.
them, and emailing them to their crush. But I guess maybe that was happening. I did not know about nudes. I really don't think I even knew about nudes until I was like maybe in college. I
Oh,
don't think anyone was
what?
sending nudes in high school.
You didn't know about nudes.
Okay, well, that's extreme, but I didn't know anyone sending nudes, is what I should have said. Did you know people in high school sending nudes?
Definitely. In high school, not middle school.
Nudes in high school?
Like really slutty people with like daddy issues.
So, yeah, anyways, this 8th grader is a malicious gal. And it just made me think about like how difficult, I always think about how difficult it is for
Did
kids
you already say she was?
arrested.
Yeah.
And it got a child pornography charge and cyberbullying. Honestly, cyberbullying is child's play compared to the child pornography.
I mean, some of the shit that she said in that video, like it would be like, let's say it was the person's name was like Sally Johnson.
Yeah.
She would be like, oh, next on my list is Sally Johnson. Aside from literally hating the sound of her voice, she is such a fat fuck.
Yes.
Like it was like really tough shit. Like, whoo.
It was cruel.
Yes, like
And-
it stings to hear.
And honestly, I love to blame parents.
You do.
I don't even know if I can blame her parents on this one. Like, this is sociopathic. Like, that is criminal.
What do you think she's doing right now?
I'm sure she's at school.
She's still going to school?
I'm sure her parents are fighting it with a lawyer.
Oh.
I can't imagine they just like shipped her off to juvie. I know she got arrested.
I would assume she's suspended.
That's interesting. How
They-
long can they suspend you from a school?
I don't know, but I went to high school in that district and it's a zero tolerance for bullying.
Oh, so then she's just sitting at home.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like if it's zero tolerance, they can expel you.
how does that work though with the school district? You
Being
have to go to a
public,
private school.
You have to go to a private school.
I always wondered how they expel you from public school. They have to have a pretty tight case, right?
Yeah. Pretty tight case like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's her face.
Something like child pornography
Usually does the
falls
trick.
under the category of.
So if you're looking to get expelled from your local school, no, I'm kidding.
So we're at dinner the other night
Yes.
and we were talking about how we have a family friend who's a teacher at a local high school. And she was saying how things have just like gotten so crazy because she doesn't know how to handle it. And the district doesn't really know how to handle that. There are a lot of students lately, not a lot, but a handful who are identifying not like trans, like male or female, but like as other things like cats, for example.
Which is so, of all the animals I could identify as, cat is 348th on the list. But okay.
Sure. So she was like, we can't, it's like because there aren't really like rules or laws or anything to
govern
this issue, the district is just kind of like, we have to, right now, we just kind of have to like go with it until we can figure out something else. But she was saying that like a couple of the students have quote unquote litter boxes that are in the bathroom.
It's too much.
And they're like, may I use the litter box, please? Like, and they like sit in class and like lick their paws, aka just like are licking their hands.
That's not even sanitary.
And that's just like distracting to other students. Like if I was in that class, I would be like, holy shit.
Fluffy's licking her paws again. It's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. And it's not the same. And what's annoying, and you were saying this before, it's annoying to try and slither in with the legitimate transgender students and be like, us too. Like, not the same.
Yeah, no, there are people who are actually legitimately trans. They are born one gender and they identify as another. And then there are these people who are like, ooh, I don't have to be this. I'm going to be a frog.
But in 40,
I love jumping.
In 40 years, are people going to look back and say we're on the wrong side of history? Like, are we being too...
No, absolutely not.
Okay, but it also begs the question, where is the line? Like,
of what you can or cannot identify as. This is what I said at dinner. I said, until you are of legal age, at the age of 18, you cannot identify as anything other than human.
it's like such a ridiculous thing to have to say out loud.
Just human. Boy, girl, non-binary. I don't give a fuck. But you are a human until you're 18. And then if after 18, you want to move out of your parents' house and sleep on a lily pad,
you can.
Mazel tov.
I just wonder.
But we cannot accommodate for that here in our public schools.
I wonder though, like, and I'm thinking all the way through this in real time, would it make sense to not assign gender at birth? Like human?
No, because I think this is like,
you get to decide your pronouns, which I'm so for. You should go by the pronoun that you want. Not the animal, but the pronoun.
I just think it's a tough situation to be in from the school district side, because the school district is obviously like, oh, fuck us. Like, now we've got to deal with these cats.
It's a cat cafe.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the cafeteria, they go to the cat cafeteria.
And then there's just like, 4 students dressed in all black with black beanies and black eyeliner licking their hands.
It sounds like the theater department. Maybe they got their stories mixed up and they're actually performing a rendition of the hit musical Cats.
I hope that they are. I hope that that's true. I did want to tell you one really quick story that's not exactly breaking news.
What is it?
But have you heard of John Wayne Bobbitt?
Oh my God, yes. But what is he?
He was a man who became famous in 1993 after his wife severed his penis off.
She cut it off.
She did cut it off, yes. She accused him of rape and abuse.
Oh, okay.
Leading to a high-profile trial where she was found not guilty.
What was her name?
By reason of insanity.
What was her name?
Lorena Bobbitt.
Lorena Bobbitt, I've heard of.
So, yeah, she was insane. She accused her husband of rape when he did not rape her. And she cut off his dick. And then this story just came out the other day that he was swimming and got an infection and had to have all of his toes removed.
Oh my God. This man cannot keep an appendage to save his life.
Extremities be damned.
Oh my God.
So he's got no dick, no toes.
Wait, all 10 or just on one foot?
No, all of them.
All 10? Sort of infection.
It doesn't say.
Can you stand without toes? I don't think you can.
Well, I think it's just 1 foot. It is just 1 foot. They showed it.
Oh my fucking God.
He just had to have the one foot's toes removed, so you balance more on the other foot.
Good.
But I mean, talk about feeling off balance.
No
He's
sex,
missing
no
a
walk.
dick.
Just sit there.
Literally. I mean, like, that man's missing a lot of things.
I'm dying. Oh no.
Like, he came into this world, his parents were like, 10 fingers, 10 toes, 1 dick. By 57, yeah, 1 dick. By 57, he's only got 5 toes and no dick.
Oh god.
Isn't that just awful?
What's awful is he didn't do the things that caused it. Like when you were saying he was accused of rape, I was like, meh, rapist. But he was just a man who was married to a crazy woman, it sounds.
Yeah, who was found not guilty by reason of insanity. I mean, like, can you imagine he's married to this woman? He's like, everyone's wife is crazy. He's watching football. She comes in. She's like, fuck you for raping me. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? Takes out a cleaver.
I want to know, like, I don't want to know, but I want to know the specifics of this crime. Like,
how do you know?
Like, she's coming at him with a cleaver and he just stayed dick forward.
He's sitting naked in his recliner. Chips out, dicks out.
No.
That's not a saying.
Okay, but it will be now. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'd have to go back to that story. You usually know more about.
I don't know if that qualifies as true crime, to be honest. But speaking of people who are acquitted of things.
Speaking of true crime.
And acquittals.
Yep.
OJ. I can't even say rest in peace.
No.
Rest.
Just rest.
Oh,
rest
God.
quietly.
I mean, it's just like mind-blowing.
What's so crazy is that, like, I don't know if I'm just not caught up with the daily dramas, but I did not even know he was sick.
I was saying I don't know if they announced it. It was like, I think within the last 2 weeks his kids came to visit him, which was when they were asked allegedly to sign NDAs, which I can't even think of something creepier.
Yes. So that's like, can you explain that to me?
An NDA?
No. Like, who execute, like,
I
who,
would assume it's like
his lawyer?
His estate. Like, I would assume the estate had them sign the NDA. So, like, rather than it being Orenthal James Simpson.
Right. Is that his real name?
Orenthal for sure. I'm not positive on the James. If you can Google that for me. It is? Yeah. Okay. So, Orenthal James.
Love it.
Rather than it being the person, it would be like the estate of OJ Simpson. Because they would be the one who would have to sue you for violating the NDA.
Okay. So here it says his will was filed in Clark County, Nevada on April 12th, 2 days after he died. Filed by Cassidy Law Offices.
So his attorney.
In the full document, Simpson's longtime lawyer, Malcolm Laverne, was named as the executor of his estate, with Simpson's son, Justin Simpson, being named as his successor. And it says, OJ requested his property be placed into the Orenthal Simpson Revocable Living Trust and also signed that his last wishes for his remains would be attached to the will itself. The will reads that it would be, quote, as administered as set forth herein, blah, 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 blah. Basically, and then he wants it to all go into the trust, which is in the family's in charge of. So basically,
Justin's in charge of the trust.
Yes, it goes to the family, and they do not, because he owed money to Ron Goldman.
Right.
It's family.
From that private suit.
Yes, which you can remind me of what exactly happened there. But because he owed money there, I guess
they're going to garnish it. Like the estate, the settlement that's still owed. I'm assuming he was on like some sort of payment plan.
Sure. Well, in 2009, OJ said he doesn't want the family of Ron Goldman to acquire any money from his estate. He's like, he's been pushing back.
Yeah, but I don't think he can.
Well, wait, he's been like,
okay.
delaying court proceedings to have like an amount set. And then the lawyer said, after filing the will, he said, it's my hope that the Goldmans get zero, absolutely nothing, them specifically, and I will do everything in my capacity as the executor or personal representative to try and ensure that they get nothing.
You're a piece of shit.
So that was the story that the executor of his will says he will do absolutely everything to make sure they get no money. Can you explain to me why would he owe money? I thought he was found. He was acquitted.
You can sue anyone civilly for anything. So
OJ was
acquitted of the murders. So the criminal
is Ron
Goldman was allegedly. There's two different stories. There's some people who say that Ron Goldman was the boyfriend of Nicole Brown Simpson when they were murdered. Other people who worked at the club or wherever where he was, said he was just bringing her sunglasses. Like she left them.
They didn't even know each other?
They did know each other, but they didn't it depends. No one knows because they're both dead. But there's two schools of thought. Either way, didn't deserve to be murdered.
But didn't she what Kris Jenner didn't say? Did they know each other or not? Like, didn't she have friends?
Yeah, I don't know if Kris has ever really come out and said much about that.
Okay.
That I'm not an expert on. But he was murdered by the same person who murdered Nicole Brown Simpson. They were both of those murders, my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Charges.
Yeah.
They were acquitted of both. He was acquitted of both.
Okay.
Ron Goldman's family filed a civil lawsuit, which you can have civil culpability different than criminal. A civil jury did find him guilty for liability of their murders.
Okay.
And awarded them some crazy amount. I want to say it was over $30 million.
Wow.
But I literally Googled just a second ago and they've never been paid a cent.
So he didn't get charged with the murder.
He did.
In federal.
I don't know if it was a federal case because there was nothing federal about it. It was the charges were filed in the county in which they happened.
Oh, okay.
Federal usually has to do if a murder or a crime happens over state lines.
Okay.
So if it's not specifically someone's jurisdiction, if you.
But then didn't he take off in his white Bronco?
But all around California, which there are so many conspiracy theories coming out now.
Like what?
One of them is that his son, Jason, I think.
Not Justin,
was the real murderer. And that.
How old was he?
Older, in his 20s.
Oh.
And that that Bronco chase was to be a distraction so Jason could flee or get somewhere. And that he was covering for Jason the whole time.
I watched that OJ courtroom thing with Sarah Paulson.
Oh, the drama? It was so good.
I totally forgot about it now. It feels like a whole nother life.
I mean, it was.
Was that pre-COVID?
Yeah, I think so. So there's that. There's the NDA that he made his kids sign NDAs when they came to visit him. So did he confess on his deathbed? We'll never know.
Right.
There's some other conspiracy theories about how the book that he wrote, If I Did It, there's a secret manuscript, which is a full confession, which is under lock and key somewhere.
But this is all just people making this up, yeah?
Totally, and I don't know what any of that does. I understand the attraction to this case, but what is
the general consensus is that he did do it?
Yes.
Why did we feel that way?
I mean, there were so...
What is if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit?
So they found gloves that were used...
Is this common knowledge? I know the saying, but I don't know, exactly.
So there were leather gloves that were used by the killer. Were they found at the scene?
I thought they had her blood on them or something.
Yeah, so they found these leather gloves, and they had OJ, which was such a swing and a miss. They had OJ try them on in the courtroom, in open court.
The prosecutor.
And they didn't fit. And so the whole thing was, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Well, leather is notoriously a finicky material.
So the case is kind of going south for OJ.
Yeah. No, it's going north. The prosecution sucked.
Oh, it did?
The prosecution did not deliver.
Okay.
The Sterling K. Brown, Sarah Paulson duo.
Yes, okay. They were not good.
Not a match for Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian, and Shapiro. Someone Shapiro.
Jeez, you really know these facts.
Anything that's Kardashian adjacent.
You're right.
And it's in the Venn diagram of my interests. True crime, Kardashians.
Yeah, I mean, it merges right there.
It merges right at the corner of
your homeland.
I care and I love it.
I care and I love it.
Right there. Yeah, so that was the whole, the gloves didn't fit. Well, they were drenched in blood.
So in front of the entire court, they have OJ
try on gloves.
that look pretty tiny.
I don't know if they looked pretty tiny. It wasn't.
They were like, they'll stretch.
I think they were so sure, like, you did this.
So he tries them on, they don't fit, and they're like,
That was the nail in the
it
coffin.
could not have been him. It has to be this small-handed. But then did like an adult male try them on to just be like, these gloves don't fit any adult male?
No.
Well, I mean, maybe they needed me on their team.
Maybe the jury was like they couldn't
Like the
come back from
gloves
that.
got wet from the blood, they've shrunken, and now they only fit a 4-year-old.
The jury couldn't come back from it. What's interesting is that the lore of this murder has survived so long.
It's insane.
Like the murders I think were in 94.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It never went away. People were flooding Khloe Kardashian's comments with condolences.
I don't remember where I heard this. I think I heard it one time. Andy Cohen was talking about like his obsession with the news when he was younger.
Yeah.
How he like, you know, was like a young like NBC page like producer or whatever, and the news was like the only version of reality TV that they had
Right. That's
When
actually a good point.
when he was younger. And so he was like, I was just obsessed with like people's real life stories and like hearing from actual people in interviews, or like if they do like a short like documentary style like story on
That's
the news.
interesting.
And so, and he said that the OJ story in the early 90s is really what broke ground for reality TV,
That's interesting.
because it was the first time that like a real news story like that captured the attention of like all ages. Like it's not about like war or like something like that. Like it was like true crime was something that was just like kind of like messy in a reality TV way,
That's interesting.
that a lot of people were like embarrassed to be
Enthralled
fascinated
by.
by. And it was like the trial was aired
Interesting.
live, and so he
so
was like
it was drama.
he was like it was like reality drama, and that is what broke down the door for reality television
Interesting.
and true crime, apparently.
Yeah, so I can't even say rest in peace. Rest, goodbye, good riddance,
Sayonara.
sayonara.
But yeah, pretty petty comment from his lawyer saying,
Oh,
who were you talking about?
Caitlyn Jenner tweeted.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
What'd she say?
And it's kind of funny because she's like loosely connected. What did she tweet?
Yeah, like big athlete from the
In the Kardashians, she was already
90s?
dating. She was married to Chris during the trial.
No, I know. I just mean like probably knows OJ also.
Yep.
Knew.
She wrote good riddance. Like for sure, you're right. Knew him through social circles, and then
Yeah.
was married to Chris.
Yeah.
So
Good riddance.
adios.
Well, thank you for the background on the OJ case. That was very helpful.
It's always nice to have someone who knows a little bit. I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Rather than a local expert.
Yeah, when you could just read the news. Why?
Okay, no, this is going long, but should we do a really quick daily dilemma?
Yeah, I love it.
Here's one, and I feel like we can pull from our experiences of watching 60 Days In.
Ooh,
Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
jail.
Really?
100%. I don't even have to think about it.
You'd be in jail for 5 years?
Yes. And I have 38.
Even after we've seen that.
Yes, it's just a numbers game.
We always talk about how we could never do that.
But
60
if my
days in.
only options are coma for 12 or jail for 5, first of all, when I'm in jail, I can still find out what's going on with my friends and family. Like I'm still able to interact with them. I'm still able to,
What
like,
if you couldn't? You're in a max security.
legally they still have to give you outside world communication.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they can't, even if you're in max security, it just means there's a lot of structures put in place so that like you can't escape and you're a high risk for escaping, and like maybe there's restrictions on visitors, but you can write letters, you can write emails, you're still able to interact with the outside world. Baseline more than being in a coma.
What if it was coma for 5 years, jail for 5 years?
Still jail.
Still jail.
Because you miss, like when you're in a coma, one, I wouldn't want to put my family through that.
I was going to say I would pick jail because like your family is like feels like they have to visit you and shit.
And like you're not able to experience things with
And
them.
you're not even there for it, you know?
It's like you miss like whatever's going to happen during those 5 years. Your kids graduate, your kids get married. You're like, at least in jail, you're like a tiptoe in. There's no way I would do a coma. Would you pick
Interesting.
coma?
No, I think like again, but only for like I don't want to experience prison at all, and so I think only for like my family's sake I would have to pick jail, but I would be mad about it.
No, it would be for my sake also.
Oh.
Because I would feel so disconnected.
You don't want to just take a long nap?
No, my grandpa actually was in a coma from November to at least a month after the Super Bowl, and I only know because he was in a coma the year the Bears were in the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like
the
most
biggest Bears fan.
die-hard Bears fan.
And he said it didn't feel so nap-like.
No, he was really like thrown by all the things that had happened.
But he was so different after.
He was so different. But I think
I don't know if that has to do.
part of it was, I think, the mental fuck.
You think?
It was really hard for him to think about this like period of time where
It's like you die and come back.
yes, like his last memories. And what was really weird was his birthday was November 6th. He's passed away now, but his birthday was November 6th. He didn't go into the coma till like a couple days before Thanksgiving, but it did something to his memory where he didn't even remember his birthday dinner. Like his last memories were like end of October.
Yeah.
And then he woke up in like March and he was thrown. He did manage to watch the recording of the Super Bowl we did and was shocked they lost. I was like,
See, better to be.
it would have been a better ending if they won.
Totally.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to say because he was like,
Yeah.
when he woke up, I mean, it wasn't even like the same.
No, totally.
But like, it could feel nap-like. Like if you're like, you know, when they put you in a coma to like recover.
Yes, but those are different. Like a medically induced coma is
You're
not.
not in that for 10 years.
Well, you're not supposed to be. That's not the plan. No, I mean, neither's preferable. If I get a choice, if there's a third option not to do either, I pick that one. But if I had to pick jail. And I honestly think I have the skills to rule jail.
I knew you were going to say that.
I do. I'd go to the top.
You'd be like the person bringing shit in through
Yes.
the convenience store.
Yes. I'd be making money. I'd be making friends.
I'll give you this eyeshadow palette for 4 Twinkies.
I would use my skills learned in my sorority to really run the prison.
Okay, well, if I'm going, then I hope I'm in your prison.
Yeah, we'll go together. It'd be for the same crime.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for chatting.
Good talk. I'll call you later.
Love you.
Love ya.
Bye.